In this video, I'm going to discuss how to calculate bonuses and commissions. So some employees make all or some of their earnings on a commission basis. So what is a commission? It's a stated percentage of revenue paid to an employee who transacts a piece of business or performs a service. Okay, so a salesman might have a fixed salary and then make a commission or bonus for sales in excess of a certain amount. Commissions are factored in when calculating whether an employee is paid minimum wage or not. It is also considered regular pay in the period it is paid, so therefore is also included in the calculation of an overtime rate for a non-exempt employee. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at where a non-exempt employee is going to get a commission, and let's figure out how we would calculate his overtime based on that. So here's an example. Sam sold $40,000 of his product. His quota is $31,500, and he gets 2% bonus or a commission in excess of his quota. His annual base salary is $30,000, and he gets paid bi-weekly. Okay, so calculate his total gross pay. So first, they gave us his salary on an annual basis. So let's just see what he normally goes home with on a bi-weekly basis. So we'll take $30,000, that's his annual salary. How many bi-weekly pay periods are in a year? 26, right? So therefore, that would be $1153.85. So that's what he normally goes home with, okay? Now, but this time, he actually ended up making a commission. So what we're going to do is let's figure out how much commission he gets. So he sold $40,000. He gets 2% anytime he sells over $31,500. So he did sell over his quota. So we'll subtract his quota from the $40,000 in sales to see how much he went over. So he went over his quota by $8,500. Then he gets a 2% commission on that, on his what he makes over his quota. So 8,500 times 2%. So he has a commission of $170. Okay, so therefore I'm going to add that $170 to his normal pay, and so therefore he gets this paycheck he'll get is for $1,323.85 gross. Okay, now again, when you're trying to calculate how much he gets paid, whether if he has to get paid minimum wage or not, obviously he does, then you're going to use these commissions as part of that calculation to see if he gets paid minimum wage. Right now our minimum wage is $7.25, so let's just see, does he get paid at least minimum wage? So in this you take what he gets paid, $1,323.85. If he gets paid bi-weekly, that means that he gets paid every 2 weeks, which is 80 hours worth. So I'm going to divide his pay by 80, and so that gives me a $16.55 hourly rate. So is he paid minimum wage? Yes. Okay. So now let's talk about non-discretionary bonuses. Okay. So there's two different types of bonuses. There are non-discretionary bonuses and there are discretionary bonuses. So what I'm mostly focused here is a non-discretionary bonus. So a non-discretionary bonus is a bonus that is known about in advance. An employee knows exactly what they have to do to receive a non-discretionary bonus. Okay, for example, an employee has to have perfect attendance to receive a $500 bonus at the end of the year. That employee knows that if they miss a day, they're not going to get their bonus. They know that they have to be there every day to get that bonus. On the other hand, a discretionary bonus is different. A discretionary bonus is at the discretion of the employer. So these are kind of the bonuses that are just out of the goodness of your employer's heart, okay? And in this case, a discretionary bonus would be like your employer decided to give everybody $100 at Christmas, okay? You didn't know that you were going to get that $100 beforehand. It just came because the employer decided to, okay? So you didn't do anything special to earn it, All right. So non-discretionary bonuses are considered regular pay in the period it is paid and is therefore considered when trying to figure out if an employee is being paid minimum wage. Discretionary bonuses are not. Okay. So discretionary bonuses are not considered regular pay when you're trying to figure out if an employee is being paid minimum wage or not, whereas non-discretionary bonuses are. Okay. So we're going to focus on the non-discretionary bonuses here. All right. Non-discretionary bonuses are also used in the calculation of an hourly overtime rate. Okay, discretionary bonuses are not. So non-discretionary bonuses are also used when you're calculating your hourly overtime rate. Okay, so let's do an example of a non-discretionary bonus. Okay, so here we've got Jamil. He earns $13.50 an hour and also earned a safety performance bonus of $85. He knew exactly what he had to do to get that safety performance bonus. So this would be considered a non-discretionary bonus. He worked 44 hours this week, and his gross pay would be what? Okay, so if he worked $13.50 an hour and he worked 44 hours, we're going to take $13.50 times 44, and that gives us regular pay of $5.94. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add that $85 in. So really, his regular pay is $6.79. Now, he worked 4 hours of overtime. So what we need to do is figure out his overtime pay. So as I said before, non-discretionary bonuses are factored in when you're going to calculate an hourly rate for overtime. So we're going to take the $6.79, where including his including his bonus. So we'll take the $6.79 divided by however many hours he worked, which was 44, and we get an hourly rate of $15.43. This is what we'll base his overtime on. So notice that we already used overtime hours in this calculation of his hourly rate. So therefore his overtime, when we calculate it, we're going to use the overtime premium. So we're going to take $15.43 times 0.5. That gives us $7.72. So therefore his overtime pay is going to be $7.72 times the overtime hours he worked, which is 4. So therefore he's got overtime pay of $30.88. So his gross pay, we'll take the $6.79 plus the overtime pay of $30.88. So here's my $6.79, here's my $30.88, and so therefore his gross pay is $709.88. And that are bonuses and commission.